Greetings. Welcome back to my late night spook show here on the Horror Metal channel. I'm Hellhound, and it would appear that the holiday season is upon us once again. And what better way to celebrate the most wonderful time of the year than to do a re-review of one of the first movies ever talked about on this channel. A video that I set to private because I wasn't that good when I was starting out, and I think I've improved, at least I hope so, since then. So I'm redoing that video right now. One of the first videos ever reviewed, and I'm of course talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night from 1984, directed by Charles E. Sellier. What's it about? Well, as a young boy, Billy Chapman, along with his infant brother Ricky, witnessed his parents being murdered by a thief/rapist dressed up as Santa Claus during the Christmas season. Seeing his mother and father killed by Santa was a very harmful experience for poor Billy, especially after his insane grandfather convinced him that old Saint Nick severely punished naughty children every Christmas. The traumatized boy was then put in an orphanage under the care of some nuns, led by the overly strict and stringent Mother Superior, played by Lillian Chauvin. You know, the witch from Pumpkinhead 2. So during his stay, Mother Superior's obsessive views on punishment further scarred the young boy's already shattered mind. Now Billy, played by Robert Brian Wilson, is all grown up and working at a toy store. Christmas is in a few days, and it's Billy's job to dress up as Santa Claus for the children. Maybe not a good idea. So yeah, after the kids leave and his coworkers begin partying, he completely loses it and begins going on a bloody killing spree while still dressed as Kris Kringle. 'Tis the season to grab an axe and deck the halls with chunks of bodies. There was a huge controversy when this movie first came out. Angry parents relentlessly protested against the idea of a killer Santa and wouldn't stop till the movie was banned from all theaters. They won, but fortunately for us, the movie was a big hit on video and became a notorious cult classic as the years went by. I was basically still just a wee lad when I first rented this flick from the local video store and popped it in my VCR during the holiday season. My verdict? Well, aside from some pretty terrible, atrocious acting, this movie is great. Yeah, not all the actors here were bad, however. Robert Brian Wilson in particular is very convincing as the axe-wielding psychotic Santa with a tortured past. He displayed all the right emotions here, and after watching him grow as a character, you actually feel the pain that he suffered over the years. After what he went through, part of me says that I can't really blame him for wanting to paint the walls red with blood. It's also pretty unusual for a horror flick to give its villain, who is also basically the main character in this case, an extensive backstory and show all the events that led to them becoming a murderer. I really appreciate the fact that we can sympathize with the killer here, and at the same time have loads of fun watching him go on his sleigh ride. But keep in mind that this is a slasher film first, and then engaging character study second. Yeah, a lot of bad acting, but aside from Wilson's great performance, I think the only other truly great acting comes from Lillian Chauvin as Mother Superior. She was very convincing as her discipline-obsessed character, and she just gave me chills. Hell, she may have actually been the scariest part of the movie, and in a way, the true villain of the film. Scream Queen Linnea Quigley, who I met back in October, is in the movie too. She plays one of Billy's victims and has a pretty memorable scene where she gets impaled on some deer antlers. Very out there stuff. So yeah, while the first half is kind of an in-depth exploration of Billy's psyche and the events that led to him becoming a holly jolly maniac, the second half is mostly just a generic body count with characters that we don't know or really care about just being axed off. Still a lot of fun, for sure, but just keep in mind that it's not quite as emotionally investing once it becomes more of a standard slasher flick. But the intricate way that they handle the Billy character and the really inventive and over-the-top kills more than make up for said lack of substance in the second half. All in all, this is a pretty unique and enjoyable horror film that features lots of engaging development for its antagonist slash protagonist. Oh yeah. Billy Chapman. All in all, I definitely recommend Silent Night, Deadly Night if you're a fan of blood-soaked cinema with a holiday theme. It has since become a tradition for me to watch it every Christmas, and you better believe I'll be watching it this Christmas as well, just like always. Alright guys, so yeah, that's Silent Night, Deadly Night. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Yeah, it was followed by a few sequels, which I guess I'll talk about briefly right here. Well, there was Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, which follows Ricky, who was just an infant, and then the beginning of the first movie, and then just a young kid during the main events of the original. Well, here he's all grown up and played by the hilarious Eric Freeman. Now, the thing about Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 is that it's a terrible movie, but it's awesome. Okay, yeah, this is the ultimate so bad it's good, guilty pleasure kind of film. Most people say Troll 2. I'd go with this one because it's just so freaking fun, and it's a blast to watch, and how bad it is. You know, terrible acting, terrible special effects, awful dialogue, but it's just a riot. Now, the thing is, it does use quite a bit of stock footage. It recycles like at least 40 minutes of footage from the first movie in a long, unnecessary recap. That's kind of the only really bad thing about this movie that makes me kind of not want to watch it. But I usually fast forward through the scenes anyway, especially if I watch it back to back to part 1. It's like, oh, I just watched this crap. I don't want to see it again, you know? But having said that, the new footage, which again concerns Ricky, played by Eric Freeman, is just awesome. Like I said, he's just really funny. A garbage day, you know, so many funny one-liners and just wisecracks and just so many hilarious moments, like the dialogue. Wow, I could just go on about some of his really funny lines. The way they're written, the way they're delivered, you know. The fact that they don't really take this one as seriously as the first one, you know, that much is obvious. The fact that Mother Superior, played by a different actress this time, her house number is 666, pretty much shows you the direction they were going in. This movie's really silly. But yeah, like I said, Ricky, played by Eric Freeman, is just a hoot. He's just very fun to watch. He's just really funny. Whereas Billy was a lot more serious and just kind of a sad, tragic figure. Ricky is the polar opposite. He's just really funny. And just just as crazy, but really hilarious. So overall, I do recommend Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, but just be warned that it does use way too much footage from the first movie. So, you know, if you're turned off by that, then I'd say probably don't check it out. But like I said, the new scenes are really funny. Just a blast, and how ridiculous it is. Yeah. The nightmare is about to begin. Again, yeah. Right? More like the hilarity. And yeah, there were a few more sequels, which I don't really recommend. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, Ricky returned, but he wasn't played by Eric Freeman. He was played by Bill Moseley, who's a good choice. I love Bill Moseley, but he doesn't talk. How are you going to have Bill Moseley and not make him talk? Ricky's lines in the second movie were the best part of the movie, and here he's completely mute and silent. And also he wears his brain is exposed, and he wears a hospital gown throughout the movie, and he doesn't even dress up as a Santa. I mean, he's got this weird connection with this blind girl or something, some kind of psychic BS. And overall, this movie kind of sucks, you know. Whereas the second movie was so bad it was good, this movie's just plain bad. Yeah, I really don't recommend it. I'd say skip it. And then Silent Deadly Night 4 and 5 don't have anything to do with the other movies. It doesn't have Billy or Ricky. There's not a killer Santa at all. Part 5 kind of has its moments. It's an interesting movie in a way, but it's not really a Silent Night, Deadly Night film, and neither is Part 4. So I don't really recommend these either, at least not as part of the series. I've got them all here on this 3-disc DVD. Yeah, this covers a lie. It looks like it's going to be a killer Santa. He sees you when you're sleeping, even though there's not a killer Santa in any of those films, except for a brief dream sequence in Part 3. But yeah, I don't really recommend Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, 4, and 5, but I definitely recommend the first two for different reasons. So yeah, well, that pretty much covers the Silent Night, Deadly Night films. I'll definitely be watching the first two films this Christmas season. Can't get enough of these guys. Billy and Ricky. The two demented killer Santa Claus brothers. Hi guys, well I hope you enjoyed my review. If you have seen Silent Night Deadly Night, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching my late night spook show here on the Horror Metal channel. I'm Hellhound, and there's going to be a holiday special of the Morbid Hour. It's going to be our 7th episode, I believe. It's going to be this Sunday. I'm going to make a promo video for it probably sometime tomorrow, so check that out for more details. It's going to be this Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, 7th episode of the Morbid Hour. It's going to be all about Christmas horror, such as Silent Night Deadly Night, which I just talked about, and, you know, Black Christmas and Krampus, Christmas Evil, To All a Good Night, Don't Up Until Christmas, all that. They're also going to talk about the band Death, you know, my favorite death metal band, Chuck Schuldiner and company. Yeah, we're going to go through their entire discography, all 7 of their studio albums. So yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. But for more info, check out my promo video that I'll probably make sometime tomorrow. Alright guys, thank you for watching my review. Until next time, later. And Merry Christmas.